In this video, I'm going to be challenging AI to a build battle to see who's the better builder and test once and for all whether AI is really better than human. Let's go! Okay, so before we get started, if you haven't heard of AI by now, it's basically a super intelligent computer that can respond to whatever prompts you give it. So today, we're going to be asking it to give us instructions for various builds and then compare them with our own designs. We're going to start off with something fairly basic and go for a Lego car. After digging around for some pieces, I came up with this design. It's fairly small, but it is able to fit a minifig and has somewhat working doors. I think this turned out pretty good, and I'm honestly happy with the design. So now it's time to ask AI for its version of a Lego car. Okay, so this is really cool. It gives me a list of the parts I'll need, and then it writes out the instructions. So I'm already noticing that the AI is using some really crazy pieces that I don't have, and I honestly don't even know if Lego makes. So I'm just going to improvise on those, and let's see how this goes. I've gathered all the pieces I need here, which really doesn't look like enough for a car to be honest, but I won't judge until I see it. And here's the completed build. I mean, it does look like a car, but I think the AI was bugging out when it designed this because the axles it told me to use were too small, and this is the roof it chose. You literally can't tell this is a roof. Well, I think we know the clear winner of this challenge. It's obviously AI, but in all seriousness, this build looks more like a toddler built it than a crazy smart computer. How about we try something less complicated for our next build, like a tree? Okay, so for my build, I went out and actually touched grass. Why is this so bright? It looks like we got a good spawn. So now that I've got all these tree pieces, it's time to build this thing. Here's what I came up with. I think it's a pretty nice tree. I tried to use some unusual pieces in this for branches like this propeller piece and this ship wheel. I also used an illegal building technique to make the bottom of the stump wider with a bucket piece, so we're going to have to speedrun the AI's tree before the cops get me. Oh crap, here they come. Here's the final AI tree build. It looks alright, but not the best. The AI also told me I would need way more pieces than it actually used. Now, we all know that a good tree can stand up to some pretty harsh weather, so let's test how well these trees can stand up to some wind. Okay, so looks like the AI tree stood up a lot better. The tree I made is super unstable. Now I know no one likes school, but for the next build, we're going to challenge AI to make a pencil. So here's my pencil. I tried to be as accurate as possible by using these Technic pieces for the shaft of the pencil because they have these little ridges on them like a real pencil. I also added other realistic details like this tan cone part for the wood part of the pencil and shiny silver studs to make the ridges in the metal that hold the eraser. Now let's compare it to the AI's build. Okay, so the AI one is definitely blockier, but it at least still looks like a pencil, even though the eraser looks like it's kind of glitching. Now, for these pencils to be up to par with real pencils, they're gonna have to pass the wiggle challenge. Now, if I hold this pencil up by the end and start wiggling it, we should see it become rubbery looking. And sure enough, our pencil passes the test. Now for the AI pencil. Well, that was kinda sad. For this next one, we're going to travel back in time to the medieval ages and make a cannon. I'm going to go easy on the AI by using this old mock I built when I was a kid. The AI has no excuses this time. This is just sad. So apparently this is the cannonball holder and these are the wheels. The AI literally chose not to use these round pieces as wheels despite saying it would in the parts list. I think AI might need to go back to kindergarten because it's really bad at counting how many parts you'll need. Like, look at all these extra pieces. I guess the only way we can truly say which build is better is to let them 1v1 each other. For our next build, we're coming straight out of IKEA with a build your own chair design. This top of the line chair is the latest of its kind, and well, this might not be the sturdiest chair design, but I still think it looks pretty cool. I use these bucket handle pieces wedged under a molded chair to make this modern looking design. Now let's see what the AI can come up with. Alright, let it cook. Here's the finished product. Not gonna lie, I think the AI is finally starting to figure this out. We actually have something that looks kind of like a chair. But the real test is, can a minifig actually use it?
Yes,
and
sir,
yes, it looks to be holding up. I think I'm gonna have to give this one to the AI this time because it actually works, even if it is a little ugly. I went ahead and gathered up some pieces from the old electronics box and put together this big speaker. I personally think it looks pretty good and could probably keep the whole neighborhood up at 3 AM while rocking out to let it go on full volume. Now let's see what AI has to offer. Bro, what is going on here? Apparently this is a screen and this is a Bluetooth panel? Well, let's at least see if it works. Well, I think we know who won this round. We're coming straight out of the 60s with this next build because I decided to try and shake things up a bit and give myself a challenge. I decided to go with this older TV design rather than make a modern flat screen TV because that's just too easy. I tried my best to capture the rounded look of the circular screen as well as have the extra buttons and knobs on the sides. I even made sure to include the antennas. This isn't my favorite build, but I feel like it looks pretty good for how small it is. Now let's see what AI has to say about it. Very few people that watch these videos actually subscribe, so please consider subscribing because it really helps and you can always unsubscribe whenever you want. The AI does have a good point, but what's up with the tiny table? For this build, I used a mushroom from Mario on a regular Lego brick to make this giant brick. Here's a regular 2x4 brick for scale. Now let's see if AI can recreate this cool effect. And here's what the AI came up with. This just looks like a regular brick, not a Lego brick. I think the AI got confused with the 2x4 brick and thought it was supposed to make a brick out of 2x4 pieces, so we're going to have to let it pass on this one. For this next one, I went on an adventure to find a lost ancient building technique. There they are. I used these minifig legs for extra details on the sides of the piano and added some extra details like these grate pieces to look like both black and white keys as well as the foot pedals and a fancy back piece. Now I can finally play this special piece of music I found. Oh, that was close. I'm going to be honest, the AI is going to have to do really good in order to top that. Wow, this is actually pretty good. It even added detail to the keys. Sadly, it did make me design the cover, but let's not judge until we hear how it sounds. Oh dang, this is a tough decision. I'm going to have to leave this one up to you guys, so comment below which you think was better. I wanted to try something pretty simple for the final build to see if AI can handle something like this grass block. I made just one slight change to the official Lego set grass blocks by adding an extra plate on the bottom so it's an actual cube. Now there's no way AI messes this up, right? How did it mess up this badly? This honestly looks like something straight out of a cursed Minecraft images compilation. Alright, I think we've seen enough.